Shalom, everyone. My name is Jolene. You are welcome to my channel titled Being Jolene M. Some of you may know me from TikTok and from some of the videos that have had a good impact on people. That's probably why you are here. But I want to first of all state that I am not a part of the fivefold ministry. I am not a pastor, teacher, apostle, prophet, evangelist. I am simply a Christian and I am acting in line with Matthew 28, which says, "Go ye therefore into all nations and, preach the good news of the kingdom, baptizing everyone in the name of the Father and the Son and of the Holy Spirit and making disciples for Yahushua HaMashiach, the Christ." And so that is simply my purpose, and that is why I have decided to venture into YouTube. YouTube can hold long form content, and I've realized that some of the messages that I have, some of the messages that I have are quite compact and are quite deep. I may need to venture into something that can hold long form content, and TikTok is only for very quick, very short videos. So today I want to complete a message that I began last week titled "The Beast System in Kenya Part 1." And I said that the subtitle to that message is "Why Your Oppressor Must Lie to You." So to recapitulate, I said that we are in the beast system of Revelation 13, that the telltale signs that the president is a beast system president are not just the draconian laws that he is putting in place, such as microchipping newborns or taxing everything, including those who have more than a certain number of chicken, taxing seeds, and forbidding direct sales from person to person, right? Saying that seeds must be bought from government institutions. So it's not just these draconian laws that don't make sense to anyone. That prove that he's a beast system president. I said the other major sign, and I emphasize this, is that he lies all the time. Whether the people can tell that he's lying or not, he continues in lies. I explained that the lies are not altogether harmless, that this government has foresight to run a totalitarian regime of absolute power, and lies will play a very significant role in establishing a totalitarian regime. Absolute power means the death of democracy and the rise of dictatorship or totalitarianism. And this is in line with Revelation 13:6, which says, "He causes all, both great and small, both free and bond, both young and old." It just says he causes all, right? To receive a mark on their forehead. Now just think with me. If your work is to cause all or to force everyone, you can't force everyone in a democracy. A totalitarian regime must rise fast in order to actually force everyone to take a mark. So whatever precedes that point in prophecy is a totalitarian regime. I say that the signs that the lies are working are in the reactions of the people, which are to either fall into mental schisms where they can no longer differentiate the truth from what is being declared to be true. And so they become passive and begin to accept or acquiesce to the lies the government tells them, right? Which means that the government will now be capable of creating a reality for the people, the reality that it desires for the people without any resistance or hostility. Once you are in a mental stupor, in a mental state where you can't determine what is true versus what you're being told is true, absolutely whatever you're told you will believe. And then the government can run its totalitarian regime without anybody stopping it. I say that the alternative is that the people become hostile against the lies and become very suspicious and begin to fact check everything. I say that the eventual result of this state of becoming hostile and fact checking everything is that the people will eventually become paranoid, and that when they are paranoid, then they can be easily subdued. So I said, as long as both of these outcomes are playing out, then the government is winning and everything is going according to their plan. I said the beast system is a system of lying wonders and all deceivableness, which means that the lies told to our people come with spiritual power behind it, and this spiritual power is to subdue the people. I say that the only solution is Christ and his spirit of truth, who will reveal to us all truth, despite the lies that the government paints to us or the lies that the government tells us. So the spirit of truth will let us know what is to come, and the wisdom to endure the times that we must surely go through. Okay, so the system of Revelation 13 is not something that we can pray against. It's not something that we can fight with protest, with strength, with let's gather together, let's decide on this, let's decide on that. Prophecy must be fulfilled. And Revelation 13 is currently being fulfilled right in front of our faces. And it is quite unfortunate that many people don't believe in the Bible. They believe it is a book written by a bunch of men from the old times, and they don't believe it is ordained and inspired by the Holy Spirit. And so that is to their loss. So to complete this message, there's a short dream I had written. By the way, I have I don't want to call it a blog site because it incorporates so many things, but it is a Substack. And the link will be in the description box, where I write full messages. In video form, I can only put, I think, a little bit here and there. I can't really present the whole picture. And so I usually write everything before I present it. So you can just be going there if you don't have time for videos, or if you actually want the full picture without a lot of talk. You know, some people are better off reading. And so you can just read everything there. So July 23rd, 2024, I had a short dream. It began with me walking down Nairobi alleyways. The buildings were presented to me as many, many skyscrapers, far more than we have now, being separated by very thin aisles, making the buildings so uncomfortably compact. I knew in the way in dreams we intuitively know things, that I had been sent on an extremely important errand by my father to some government offices to get a task done that was important to him. I, in return, was determined to do this task fast and well. So I went to the fourth floor of that building, and I faced the usual hassle of dealing with government offices, of being taken round in circles. At the end of the day, I brought my father a disappointing report that I hadn't been able to get the task done. Don't panic, I assured him. Tomorrow I will for sure get it done. With this statement, I again intuitively understood that this wasn't the first time I had given him a negative report. I understood that this going back and forth had been ongoing and had occurred several times. The dream then turned into the next morning, and there I was, at around 6 a.m. in the sitting room, looking through my papers, making sure I had all the needed documents this time. Just before I left, my father came to bid me goodbye. Leaving this early, he asked. Yes, I said firmly. I told you that I'm going to get this task done today. He sighed. I was just about to leave when he called my name, Jolene. He said it in that deep, somber tone he usually adapts when he wants to have a serious conversation. I turned to face him to listen to what he had to say. Why don't you just get that Maisha card? He asked. This startled me greatly. Nobody talks about the Maisha card, at least not that I know of, let alone in my family. Remember, in a dream, most of us are usually unaware that we are dreaming. It is a soul experience that seems just as real as our daily lives. I found it quite strange that he mentioned it, and it showed on my face that I was visibly shocked. Despite my reaction, my father continued, Why haven't you taken that Maisha card? You would have completed this task a long time ago if you simply had it, he urged. I stared at him in silence. He went on. Why are you resisting this thing so much? These are the times that you have been born into. These are the times of your generation. These are your times. You can only resist for so long, so just lean into it. In our time, we too had things introduced to us that appeared strange at first, but we adapted, and it turned out well. So please just get the card. Get this thing done for me because I can't wait any longer. You know I can't wait any longer. He looked concerned, as though my life would never move forward unless I got this Maisha card, as though the more I resisted, the slower my progress in things that I needed to get on with life, like opportunities, access to better jobs, access to faster services. I remember not taking the advice well, though I did my best not to let it show on my face. The dream ended with me going back to the same building, determined to get the task done without having to apply for that forsaken Maisha card. When I woke up, I understood the dream. All I know about this Maisha card is that it has been declared optional. It was launched late last year, and I haven't heard of it since then, and I haven't had much of it since then. The more I thought about this dream, the more I understood that there's no way they would set this Maisha project in motion if they didn't have the full intention of making full use of it. So it was rather lazy thinking on my part to even imagine that it would be an optional thing that I would never have to think about ever again. As stated earlier, please listen. As stated earlier, the beast system is run by Satan himself, using human faces for now. Satan is a fallen angel. He is not omniscient. And the only way for him to keep track of all peoples at the same time is through technology, which is why AI has become so pervasive. AI is built to be intuitive, and the more information you feed it, the more intelligent it becomes about you. Maisha Card will require biometric and georesidential data and will be very much a stepping stone to the many ways that this system will be eerily invasive, asking for extremely private data, including DNA, and asking people's 24/7 and tracking people's 24/7 whereabouts under the guise of safety and security. So that's the end of the message, that this Maisha Card thing will eventually rise to prominence. So I had this dream in, let me look again, July 23rd, 2024, right? And then I realized while I was thinking about this dream that I have never really paid attention to Maisha Card. I've never had a reason to. And so I began to do a little bit research on it. And I found out that they have been pushing this thing, and then the court has been striking it out, and then they push it again, and then the court strikes it out. And then on July 25th, again, the court refused for this thing to be fully rolled out. Again, they struck out this need, this, I don't know if it's a request or a push by this Maisha Card project team. I forgot who's truly behind it. To reinstate it and to make it a part of our daily lives. But then I looked to other articles, and I saw that they are fully intent on making sure that by 2026, in the next 2 years, that it will be a normal part of our lives. So they're saying they're looking forward to having this thing be a normal part of our lives in 2 years or less. So I realized that no matter how many times we use the courts and they say that it's invasive, it's infringing on people's privacy, it's infringing on people's rights and freedoms, blah blah blah. No matter how many times the courts say that, at some point this thing will actually go through and will become a part of our lives. And the reason that it will become a part of our lives, it's so that it makes the beast system stronger. You see, if you don't have privacy, and if you don't have privacy, then you're absolutely under the, then you can be subdued easily. Okay. You can be told to do this and that and that and that, and then if you don't do it, you can be easily caught. And that's the point of Satan's oppressive system. So thank you for being with me. I will see you next time, and thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for very many more messages that I have to deliver. And then when I finish, I will be finished. Thanks be to the Most High. See you next time.